I want to talk about motivation. What leads to kids who are motivated to read? What leads to kids who are engaged with books? And this is more complicated than it might seem on the onset. Like, a lot of people will just think, read to your kids and they'll be excited about books and they'll want to read, but that's not true. And that's because if kids aren't feeling successful as readers, they're not going to want to keep reading. We know that the biggest factor for kids being intrinsically motivated to read is that they consider themselves a reader. Key components for building kids who are excited to read is building their skills. If you've heard of the orchid versus dandelion metaphor, there was a book that came out and it was really focused on sensitive children being the orchids, and they really need delicate care to thrive, to flower, versus dandelions who can grow between the cracks of cement. They'll grow under any condition and be fine. The same kind of idea can be true of children with literacy. There are kids who really are going to need a more carefully tended environment to thrive in literacy, and we want to help make that environment as supportive as possible to help them as readers. So building the skills is going to take time, right? In the meantime, while we are helping the children learn about the written word, practice with the written word, we can do other things that are also a key part of kind of the motivation milieu. We can focus on building our child's autonomy, collaborating with them, building resilience. So let's talk about autonomy. Unfortunately, there can be this cycle that happens, and I think it's probably more prominent for kids who are struggling, but I don't have information on that. Like, I don't know about research on this, but I do see this pattern where a kid is struggling, and so more things are imposed upon them. Now, you have to practice every day. You have to practice with this material, and really all of the fun of reading has been taken away. I think it's important for all kids, whether they're struggling or not, that there is some unregulated reading time, a time where they really can enjoy whatever they want. There's no questions being asked about the book that aren't authentic, like genuine interest questions. There's not quizzing about content. Help them if they want help and are struggling to read a word or something. But if a kid is enjoying a book, silently reading it to themselves, reading out loud, and it's just that time for them where they're enjoying it, don't interrupt it. Let it be. That's not the time to build the skills. This is the time to really nurture a love of the written word. Let it happen. Use your librarians. Whether you have a library that you can stop into and check with the children's librarian, or you can do it online, they are incredible resources, and really we can often tell them just a few things that our children love, other books they've loved, interests, and librarians tend to really hit it on the nose. If your child hasn't found books that they're excited by, I would say, have you closed off the graphic novel door for them? These books have fantastic storylines. There's incredible graphic novels now. This is an amazing genre with great vocabulary, and your child is going to still be exposed to really wonderful stories. And actually having the pictures for a kid who's struggling, that support can be really lovely and lead to a greater enjoyment for them. Maybe your child hasn't found books that they like yet because they haven't found books that are relevant to their life. Maybe they haven't found books that reflect who they are. This is another place where librarians can be fantastic. Hopefully you're in a community where there aren't books being banned and your child can find a book that really reflects who they are or gives them a window into someone else's life that they're interested in. The books being windows, doors, and mirrors, like, that is a really big deal, and some children are not going to connect with stories until it reflects their life. So for fostering their autonomy by giving them choice over how they read, what they're reading, when they're reading, I realize that sometimes there needs to be a little bit more shaping of the environment for a child. And so this is where we need to really look at collaboration. And collaboration also leads to motivation. When a child is feeling respected, they're feeling a part of the team, they're feeling like they're not going to be pushed beyond what they can handle any given moment. This is a big deal. Anything you can do to help make it feel safer for them, to help it be more predictable, can go a very long way in building this routine that eventually builds skills. And keep in mind that when kids have avoidance behaviors or any behaviors that feel maybe a little frustrating for you as a parent, they're running away, they are maybe making inappropriate jokes, starting to be silly, all of these behaviors that might indicate a child is not wanting to participate are a really important sign. They are a sign that we need to step back and think about how we can change this environment. How can we make it more motivating to them? How can we provide something that's more engaging? How can we support their risk-taking? Do we need to make things much, much easier? Do we need to play more games? What can we do to help them meet us where we're at, but really more importantly, help us meet them where they're at? I'm Kathleen Love with Rain City Reading. Thank you so much for watching this video. It has been my dream for years to provide free content for parents who are in the trenches trying to support their kids and maybe don't know where to start. Parents, you can make a difference in the day-to-day. You can support your child with little steps that will add up. And I'm here for you. I'm going to keep making videos. So please go ahead, subscribe, share with other parents you know that are struggling. Let's get the word out that you're not alone and that you can help your kids.